I love this. Thank y'all for doing it.
Of course. Thank you. Okay, guys, my name is Angel Falk. I'm the fitness angel, and I'm here to introduce my beautiful friend, Allyson Andrews. She is a mom to Lila, who's a year and a half. Wow, it's hard to believe. And now she's expecting baby number 2, and we are so excited. And then we have Dr. Doug Odom, aka Rascal. And he is an OBGYN, has delivered over 17,000 babies, helped numerous moms and babies be their healthiest. And he also, and Allyson and I have all partnered with the Juice Plus company. And so we are here to share how Juice Plus can help with pregnancy. So since Allyson is in it right now, living it, I'll let Allyson ask Dr. Odom some good questions that most pregnant mamas want to know.
Thank you. So my main question is taking Juice Plus as a prenatal. Do I need to take anything on top of that? Or do I need to stop taking anything? And if you could hit on the folic and the folate acid as well within that.
Sure, and I'm not practicing medicine, so don't take this as medical advice, but I'll tell you what I did do and what I advised. And it was very obvious to me that when it comes to pregnancy and a prenatal, the whole emphasis in a prenatal vitamin was to just be sure that your diet was giving you enough of everything that you needed. And what we know today is it filled in some gaps, but not nearly everything that you needed. So prenatals are man-made, and Juice Plus is nature-made. So it's actually real live food. It's fruits, it's vegetables, it's berries. And when you add up all the different food sources that are in the 3 blends, you're getting over 30 different foods. And there's so much more value and benefit when you're getting food from over, or getting the representation of over 30 foods and all the different component parts that are in each of the individual foods. So as far as what you might want to add that maybe you're not getting in Juice Plus is the only thing that I would really add would be vitamin D, because that's the sunshine vitamin, and you really don't get that in food sources in enough amounts that it's really going to benefit you. So check with your physician. Maybe have your vitamin D level checked. 30 in most labs is considered normal, but 55 to 85 is optimal. So you don't want a normal range, you want an optimal range, and he can advise you, or she can advise you on how much that you need. But you might want to do all this before conception. Everybody should be evaluating their vitamin D levels, and that's really one of the important monitoring options that we have for optimal health. And for people that have any chronic disease, they will typically be very, very low in vitamin D levels. So it's important that everybody, even children, have their levels checked. You might check with your pediatrician and find out exactly how much and when to add that. But so that would be the only other thing, because Juice Plus also offers an omega blend that is a very ideal balance between omega-6s and omega-3s. And as a side benefit, you also get omegas-4s and 6, and omegas-4s and omega-6 and omega-9 in addition, but it's all vegan origin. So it's from plant sources only, from seeds, berries, and from algae. And so I would very definitely start all of these before conception in an ideal world. And if not, well, then as soon as you find out that you're pregnant, or as soon as you hear about Juice Plus. And I had patients coming to me even in the 3rd trimester, and when I visited with them and shared with them the benefits and the real value of what plant food could do for them, especially these powders that are in capsule or chewable form, most of my patients saw the value and added it, even if it were in the 8th or 9th month of their pregnancy. So it's never too late to add good nutrition to your diet, period.
So how much Juice Plus should we be taking on a regular basis if we are or aren't pregnant?
Okay, if we're not pregnant, but we're thinking about pregnancy, and you haven't been pregnant before, we just start pretty much everybody on the 2 capsules from each of the blends. So that would be 8 capsules if you're doing the fruit, vegetable, berry, and omega blend. And then let's assume that you start there, and then and it's equally important. We didn't talk about this earlier, but it's equally important that your spouse be on Juice Plus as well, consistent, because half the DNA that's going to be in your offspring is coming from him. So you want healthy DNA coming from both of you. And then as the pregnancy progresses, oxidative stress increases as does the pregnancy. And the first trimester ends around the 13th, 14th week. And at that point, if the patient was able to tolerate pills, swallowing capsules, or certainly tolerating chewables, well, then we had them increase a little bit. So 2 capsules to begin with, and then after the second, or at the time of the second trimester, increase into 3 capsules, and then at the beginning or at the time of the 4th trimester, around the 27th, 28th week, then going up to 4 capsules. And that was just common sense for me because as the pregnancy progresses, there's more oxidative stress, there's more free radical damage, and the way to neutralize that naturally is to do it through your diet. So the more plant food, phytonutrient, antioxidants that can donate electrons to neutralize those harmful compounds that literally cumulatively increase the risk of having a pregnancy complication like toxemia, gestational diabetes, preterm labor, etc. So just start off with the standard amount and then increase incrementally along with the pregnancy, because there's more demand as the pregnancy progresses along. And a full-term pregnancy is 40 weeks. So just to kind of give you an idea there.
So can you touch base a little bit on the folic acid versus folate?
Surely. Well, that's been a concern. Hey, Will.
Hey, how are y'all doing?
Doing great, man. Thank you. Good seeing you. That's been a controversy since I've been involved in medicine. And but here's the bottom line. Prenatal vitamins have folic acid, and folic acid is man-made. And what is very important as far as an antioxidant is that B vitamin called methylfolate, which is a natural source of folate, and we should be eating, and that's found primarily in greens and green leafies, other foods as well. But we should get all of that from our diet. We should get all of our nutrition from our diet. We don't do that, and that's where Juice Plus comes in. But we need to be consuming all of these in a food source and not in a supplement force. And so Juice Plus is real food. It's not considered a supplement. It's real food, so it has a nutrition label and not a supplement label. But the body addresses and accepts food and then is able to tolerate that, and is certainly able to absorb it much more readily than in a artificial form or man-made form. And so we get plenty of folate if we're eating a diet that is rich in plant food. And when when we aren't eating that diet, but we're consuming Juice Plus on top of that, well, then we feel like that we get at least the minimum amounts of folate that is necessary for optimal health, and that's about 400 micrograms. And then when you're pregnant, as you're adding more Juice Plus, you're actually adding more and more to that. So, but it really begins with the idea that your basic diet is going to be really optimal to begin with, which is not an accurate assessment of most people. So it's important that we add Juice Plus to what you're consuming while you're pregnant.
Okay, my last question is, I'm curious about our protein. Is it safe to take while we're pregnant and or nursing? I've heard before that it could bulk up the baby. So I'm curious about that.
Bulk up the baby? Now, are you talking about babies with big muscles? Or are you talking about fat babies, or what?
I will just say, so my last pregnancy, I told my midwife that I was drinking a protein powder daily. And she said, okay, just watch it because it could bulk up the baby.
Okay.
So.
Okay, that's fine. Well, everybody needs protein. I mean, everybody. We need proteins, we need complex carbs, and we need healthy fats. And we're eating too many foods that are not falling into those categories. We eat a lot of processed food, a lot of processed protein, and we certainly eat a lot of processed carbohydrates. And in my opinion, that's been the biggest problem in our diet in my lifetime, in the last 3 generations, 60, 70 years. But our protein is plant protein. It's anti-inflammatory. It has a protein rating of 1.0, which is ideal. That's as good as you can get, and it actually is a great protein source. It's peas and beans primarily, and it's the full complement, excuse me, of the amino acids that are the building blocks for protein to begin with. So if you consume our complete powder in the form of a smoothie or a shake, in my opinion, that's as good as you can get. And that's not just for you, but it's for your baby and the baby's building blocks, and you're building healthy protein for the baby when you're adding our complete shakes every day, or our complete powder.
Awesome. I don't have any more questions, I don't think. So if you want to add anything, or Angel, if you have anything to ask.
Well, those were great questions. Yeah. Here's what I would add, if anything, and that is, before you conceive, if you can go see your doctor for pre-pregnancy counseling. I loved it when patients would do that, and then we could try to have a plan. Most of my patients were overweight, and I wasn't concerned about them losing weight, but about losing their fat component. I was very concerned about them getting on a healthy diet, which meant adding more plant sources of proteins, fats, and carbs. And I was also very interested in them being aware that there is a way that they can augment their diet with whole food options. And so I presented with them all of the things that we've talked about, and even some others, maybe like the protein bars if you don't like the smoothies or the shakes. So it's important to start from a standpoint at the time of conception of having antioxidant excess, and not trying to start with a deficit and then trying to catch up, because that's almost impossible. So, but the magic of Juice Plus and the magic of eating a healthy diet that's 85 to 95% vegan every day, before, during, and after the pregnancy, the magic is the consistency. It's every day, every day, every day. consuming these foods that allow you to have an antioxidant excess. And when that happens, then typically you go through your pregnancy with fewer overall issues and problems and complications. So plant food is critical, and I know you've heard this, it's so good that it can save your life. But we just have to do it every day, every day, every day, because what you consume today is typically used up and gone tomorrow. So you have to replace tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So, and it's not just one or two or three or four or five different foods. It's the complement of all of these, the variety of all these foods on a daily basis. So again, that's the magic. And don't eat just the same foods every day, and try to even eat foods that are not in Juice Plus, because we don't have sweet potatoes, but that would be a great option. Cauliflower, that's not in there, but that would be a great option. So that's just some examples about eat a variety of food, because they're all good for us. Thanks for having me. This has been fun. Thank you so much, and good luck with your pregnancy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Well, y'all have fun tomorrow.